that? And he's like, I used to run 4 minutes.
Yeah, 5.5. Just some stuff. Let me warm up first.
Iron Mike Tyson just reminded the world why his name still echoes with fear through boxing history. Reports emerging from his Las Vegas training camp are sending shockwaves across the sport, with insiders claiming a sparring partner was rushed to the hospital after being knocked out cold during a session with the 58-year-old legend. Even more astonishing, the incident reportedly occurred as Mike prepares for a potential blockbuster exhibition showdown with Floyd Mayweather, raising the tension and mystique surrounding a clash few ever imagined possible.
Mayweather.
Today, Mike is much better than he was when he fought at right. So 4 years later, with 58, today he's better than 54. So he saw everything right, everything wrong he did, and he fixed it. This is the beauty of the fight. The energy is good, and his energy is good. So.
If you could have fought any fighter in your life, any weight, any era, who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather.
I love it. Why?
Huh?
You want to knock him out?
Well, I would love to fight him. I wish he was my weight.
All right, interesting answer.
People close to the situation say the incident unfolded during what was meant to be a light technical sparring session. Tyson's team had brought in a younger fighter in his early 30s with solid professional experience to help Iron Mike drill specific combinations and defensive scenarios. According to insiders, the session began routinely, with both men in headgear, moving cautiously and keeping the pace controlled
For the
through the
first
opening
couple of rounds.
Again, pass across. Your heels as I touch your guard, across. Balance. Beautiful.
But then something changed in Mike. Witnesses say the sparring partner landed a clean jab flush on his nose. Nothing dirty, just routine contact in a controlled session. Yet that single shot seemed to awaken something no one expected. One person in the gym described his demeanor shifting instantly, like a switch flipped in his mind, transporting him back to the ferocity of his prime years.
Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike.
What happened next is where the story turns truly chilling. Multiple reports claim Mike suddenly unleashed his hands with frightening intent, firing a combination so violent it froze everyone in the gym. The sparring partner reportedly tried to clinch and ride it out, but Mike created just enough space, ripped a crushing left hook to the body, and followed with an uppercut that lifted the man off his feet. He went down hard, devastatingly hard, and those nearby insist he was out before he even hit the canvas, the crack of the uppercut echoing through the facility. One insider called it the most vicious thing they had witnessed in a training environment in years. For a few stunned seconds, the gym fell into complete silence before everyone rushed forward in a panic to check on the fallen fighter.
He does better to the body. Better to the body.
You all right, coach?
Mike, tá well? Baby, I need 10 seconds. Put 10 seconds there.
Good shit.
Medical staff were on site, as is standard for any serious training camp, but sources say they called an ambulance immediately because the sparring partner wasn't responding normally. Reports indicate he remained unconscious for several minutes, and even after coming to, he appeared disoriented and couldn't recall what had happened. He was rushed to a hospital for a full evaluation to rule out serious injury. The intensity of the incident didn't stop there. Insiders say Iron Mike himself was visibly shaken after realizing the sheer force of his punches. He reportedly stayed in the gym long after the ambulance left, sitting quietly and replaying the moment over and over. One source remarked that while Mike knows his own power, even he seemed stunned by just how much force he could still generate at 58 years old.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The sparring partner's condition quickly became a major concern. Early reports indicated he was being evaluated for a possible concussion and would need overnight observation at the hospital. Sources later said he was cleared to go home, but strongly advised to take several weeks off from any contact training. One person familiar with the medical assessment admitted the doctors were genuinely stunned that a 58-year-old man could still produce knockout-level power. The incident sent shockwaves through the boxing world for multiple reasons. It confirmed that Mike Tyson's legendary power remains intact, raised serious questions about what could happen if he actually faces Floyd Mayweather in the rumored exhibition, and left other sparring partners seriously reconsidering whether they want to step into the ring with Iron Mike, even for top dollar. Reactions from the professional fighting community have been fascinating. Terrence Crawford, who has reportedly been helping Mike prepare for the potential Mayweather showdown, shared some striking observations in a recent interview. Crawford explained that Mike's power is something you have to feel to truly grasp. Hitting the heavy bag is one thing, but experiencing the force he generates even in light technical work is an entirely different level of intensity.
Different.
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. Dude is big. He's not as slow as people think he is, and he can punch.
Sean Porter jumped on social media to weigh in on the shocking news. He said the incident proves exactly what he's been saying for years. Power is the last thing to leave a fighter. Tyson, Porter reminded fans, had nuclear power even by heavyweight standards in his prime. Porter argued that if Mike can do this to a professional fighter in his 30s during a controlled sparring session, just imagine what could happen if he lands a clean shot on Floyd Mayweather, whose entire career was spent in lighter weight classes, where raw punching power is on a completely different level.
How do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show. We already know, like we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable, but it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring. You know, it wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that.
Andre Ward had a more measured take during his ESPN analysis. He acknowledged that Tyson clearly still possesses terrifying power, but questioned how much this incident actually predicts a fight with Floyd Mayweather. Ward explained that Mayweather's entire defensive system is engineered to avoid getting hit clean, and emphasized that knocking out a sparring partner in a gym is a far cry from landing that same shot on arguably the most defensively skilled fighter in boxing history.
He's going to have the energy to move the way that he did before. You could get a more entertaining fight. You can get more of a back and forth scrap, which is what a lot of people wanted. And It's not a guarantee that this fight goes the distance, given these guys' age and where their punch resistance are. Where their current punch resistance is, and you don't know.
Tim Bradley
went
down
deep.
the incident in detail on his show. He explained that the reported combination, body shot followed by an uppercut, is one of the most devastating sequences in boxing when executed properly. While he praised Floyd Mayweather's legendary shoulder roll defense, Bradley noted that it could be vulnerable to that exact combination if timed perfectly. He suggested that if Tyson has been honing that sequence under Terence Crawford's guidance, it could become a genuine weapon against Mayweather.
As in exhibitions, you know, Mayweather's he's still a killer, man, for real. Yeah, he still got it. So why not share the ring with Terence Crawford, man? You know, you still got it. I know you can still go those rounds. Yeah, you still work hard too. You still in shape, champ. Get that money, man. That's what you about. Money, Mayweather. Make it happen. Bring it to the reality, right?
The heavyweight division has been watching closely. Deontay Wilder said the incident didn't surprise him at all, noting that heavyweight power is built differently, and Tyson was one of the hardest punchers the division has ever seen. Even at 58, with slower reflexes, that raw power still lives in his muscle and bone. Wilder added he'd be more shocked if Mike couldn't still hurt someone. Tyson Fury chimed in during a press conference, joking that Mike hitting that hard at 58 proves some people are just genetically wired with dynamite in their hands, and he wouldn't spar with Tyson for $1 million. No amount of money is worth that risk. David Haye, who understands heavyweight power intimately, explained why the moment is so significant. Most fighters lose knockout ability with age as hand speed drops, but Tyson's power has always relied on perfect technique, leverage, and natural strength. Even with reduced speed, his form and leverage remain enough to generate fight-ending force.
Power.
It was either Mike Tyson's knocking you out, one of the two. It was never a fight that I can remember where it was Tyson, Tyson's having a trouble, he's having a problem, and he brings it back round. At the moment he started to lose, or it started to get tough, it seemed to go the other way.
Now
let's talk about
matchup with Floyd Mayweather has taken on a whole new dimension. Before this news, analysts overwhelmingly leaned toward Floyd, praising his unmatched defensive skills and ring IQ. But after the Tyson sparring incident, a serious conversation has erupted. Could Mike's still formidable power pose a real, undeniable threat that even Floyd's legendary defense can't entirely dismiss? The dynamics of the fight are suddenly far more unpredictable, and fans and experts alike are buzzing with speculation. Paulie Malignaggi, who knows Floyd's style better than almost anyone, admitted on a podcast that the sparring incident has made him slightly less confident in his prediction. He explained that he still expects Mayweather to control the fight, outbox Mike, and make him miss all night. But he also acknowledged that if Tyson lands even one of those devastating shots he still packs, the entire fight could shift in an instant. After all, Mayweather has never been knocked out, but he's also never faced someone with Mike Tyson's fearsome power.
And you've still seen, regardless of what you think about his athletic ability and his boxing ability, you still see what happens when he lands a punch on somebody. He's still a strong guy. Mike Tyson is still 58, no matter what you think of him. 58 years old brain. Tyson doesn't have that crazy head movement that he had in his youth. First of all, that's an energy-burning style. At 58 years old, you're not pulling that style off. Tyson didn't even have that style in his mid-30s when he was almost at retirement age. He was already not moving his head like that.
Stephen A. Smith went off on First Take about the situation, declaring that this proves the potential Floyd versus Mike fight is genuinely dangerous and maybe shouldn't happen. He argued that exhibitions are supposed to be relatively safe, controlled events, but if Mike is knocking out professional fighters in their prime during sparring, what could happen if he lands clean on Floyd? Stephen A. warned that Mayweather might need to seriously reconsider because the risk could far outweigh any reward.
And then you saw the knee brace on, and you just saw the way he was moving. If you watch Mike Tyson, I mean, think about all the Mike Tyson fights we've seen. Think about the movement, the head movement, the foot movement, etc. And then to see that and to know that he's 31 years older than you, literally approaching 60 years of age. I think to see it in front of his face at that moment, it hit him.
Max Kellerman offered a completely different perspective on the same show, arguing that the sparring incident actually makes the fight more compelling from an entertainment standpoint. He explained that fans are now dying to see if Floyd's legendary defensive genius can truly neutralize Mike's power, or if Tyson could pull off the unthinkable and knock out Money Mayweather. The uncertainty alone is fueling massive interest. Reports suggest betting lines shifted after the news broke, with Mike becoming a slightly less extreme underdog, as bettors flocked to the knockout potential. Roy Jones Jr., who faced Mike in exhibition, backed a claim, saying even with pulled punches, Tyson's power was legitimately scary and hasn't faded. Rafael Garcia, Mike's trainer, stressed that accidents happen in sparring, but confirmed Tyson's power remains intact thanks to his genetics, strength training, and flawless technique. The discussion around exhibition rules has intensified, with some calling for strict punch limitations, while others insist fans want a real, unsanitized fight. Teddy Atlas offered a balanced take, acknowledging Tyson's terrifying power, but pointing out that landing it on Mayweather is far harder than hitting a sparring partner. According to Atlas, the real question is whether Mike can ever catch Floyd clean, and that uncertainty is what has everyone buzzing. For non-stop updates on boxing news, moments, and events, subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications for fresh content. Until next time, peace.